Hello, YouTubers. It's Penny with Creatively Challenged, and today we're planning in the Big Happy Planner for the week of, we'll get there, whoop, too far. Let's start with this. Let's start in December. That's a good way to narrow it down. We are looking at the week of December 11th through the 17th. Take those out so it's easier to do the planning. And I've got some sunspots running across my table today from the blinds, but that's all right. That means it's a nice sunny day out. I've already run some washi tape down the sides of my pages and recut them out again, which I don't have the punch yet, so I grabbed some really small sewing scissors and did it by hand. This week was the beginning of Hanukkah, so that's going to inform my color choices. I myself am very pluralistic in how I live my life, very accepting and celebrating of everyone and everything. So we're going to look at that for what inspired my design this week. I will start by putting my quote over in my notes column. I don't really use the notes column that much. And I always have something that kind of, I don't know, implies the theme, or it's a quote that's really important to me at the time. So, and this is a little bit of both. It's blue and it says, "Be the very best version of you." And I dig that. It's the time of year where we start to get really hard on ourselves. So it's important to be nice to ourselves, to remember that all we need to do is be the kindest version of ourselves, and that everything will be all right. So this is a crazy week of the year. I don't have a lot going on. I even checked with my boyfriend, checked with my child, checked with my ex-husband, and I was like, so there's stuff this week, right? No, not so much. Doesn't mean the only things on my to-do list are inhale and exhale. It just means that I don't have a lot of extraneous stuff going on. So let's get going with, all right, where did I put? Well, of course I can't put my hands on it now. Yeah, isn't that how it goes? All right, well, we got this. I can do this. Let's go into the mom book. Let's go into the mom book. Oh, that one, by the way, was from, my quote came from the quote book. Let's go into the mom book quick and see what we've got going on here. I know that I have, yeah, I'm doing what's for dinner, but I think I've only got the one blue one in here. Well, it's kind of a purpley blue. If you work for Mamby, if you know someone who does, by golly, blue. Blue, blue, blue. I want blue. I don't think that's too much to ask. I want blue. I want to put another sticker down first, though, because it is going to take up a whole lot of room. So yeah, I want things that are blue, that are unabashedly blue. I don't mind different shades of blue, but so much of what I have seen available so far, they're either a little on the purple side of blue, a little on the mint side of blue. I want unabashedly blue and all the different shades that that implies. So we're going into the big color story. We'll put this big bad boy on the weekend before I put down meal planning stuff, because I do need to leave a little room for, you know, I'll find stuff along the way. I'll list out some chores or something. But yeah, I'll flip this upside down. I just want to have a little bit of I don't know where I was going with that thought. I really don't. So yeah, I'm so glad you guys put up with that. Well, I mean, you know, you could always click away from the video, couldn't you? You don't have to. I appreciate that you do, though. So Hanukkah, I have a lot of friends who are Jewish and who celebrate. It's been a long time since I have enjoyed any potato latkes, so I'm I'm contemplating making some next weekend. Ugh, that's not going to be straight, but you know what? So what? Who cares? You know, the world is not going to spin off its axis if that isn't straight. And we're going all kinds of colors of blue this week. That's why I went with this washi, was so that whatever shade of blue makes it into the book, it works, it fits, and we can keep right on moving. Also in the mom book, I believe I had, that's why I go through and mark pages ahead of time. Make that arrow out because I had marked the holiday pages. So anyhow, while I'm looking for that to put the start of Hanukkah, I thought, you know, I've been just talking to folks a lot at work and friends and stuff this week about holiday traditions and specifically things that adults do to keep Christmas alive for kids. You know, how do you keep that magic happening for them? And for me, I knew that there was, yeah, if you have littles and you don't want them to hear what I'm about to say, click away, come back later, whatever you got going on. I knew that that Santa was not a real physical person when I was 4, and I tried to break it to my parents kindly that I knew. I remember that I asked my mom, I said, why is it that Santa has the exact same wrapping paper as us? And she said, well, Santa does that for every house. And that wasn't half bad. That was actually a pretty good answer. Or we leave the paper out for him. And I was like, okay, let's try it this way. How do you suppose Santa came to have the exact same handwriting as Dad? And, well, Dad pre-writes the tags and leaves them out for you guys, or for him to use. So I tried a couple other things, and finally my mother just told me that kids who don't believe in Santa don't get gifts. So the message I received was, shut up or you're not going to get gifts anymore. So I shut my pie hole and went with it from then on. The Hanukkah Begins is not really the one I was looking for, but it came out of the generic 1829 piece. So yeah, that's how I knew. I printed some free stickers for myself, and I will link where I got those from in the comments. So that's how I knew, or that's when I knew that Santa wasn't a real corporal being. And I knew that I wanted to work hard at keeping the magic alive for my children. At that point, obviously, I didn't have a child, and my son had him when I was 30, and I'd started to put some thought into it, but I hadn't put that much yet. And so we did a few things. I had a supervisor when my child was about 2. I had my supervisor at the time write on a bunch of Tupperware. Had a little square plastic container with a roll of tags in the middle of it so you could pull out what you needed. And I had him write on about 100 of them to Brad from Santa. I figured that would more than get us through, and it did. And then I reciprocated for my supervisor. I wrote to his children's name, Noah, and I don't remember his daughter's name now, from Santa on a whole bunch of tags. Also, the only place you saw Santa on wrapping paper when my son was growing up was on Gifts from Santa. because he made his own wrapping paper with his own image on it. A little conceited to be sure, but it worked. Um, and we did some other things. Of course, we had reindeer food that we put out for Santa to give to all the reindeer. And I would be out in Wisconsin at 10, 11 o'clock at night, throwing some reindeer food up onto, which was oatmeal and glitter, uh, up onto the roof of our house. And I'm getting it all over myself, getting it on my, and glitter doesn't go away. I was getting it on my face, and um, yeah, it was good times to be sure. Good times, good times. But it helped. For his letter from Santa, it was always done on a computer, and we were just like, well, he's got a little printer, and uses wireless was a Wi-Fi was a thing, and so we just told him that Santa used wireless Wi-Fi and had a Wi-Fi hotspot, or whatever we had going on that we could tell him. And so yeah, Santa always knew a couple things that Mom and Dad didn't call him out on during the year. Santa knew just one or two things. And so that kept it alive for him a mite longer. And the font that we used for Santa to sign his letter almost identically by chance matched my the way my supervisor had signed. Sorry, lots of oral spacers today. I don't know why that is. So yeah, so that kept that alive for him. And also, the big guy never gave the best gifts to my child. They were so-so gifts. They were nice gifts, but they weren't the really cool item that he got each year. For when that went away, we didn't really want him to be beholden to that myth for his cool gifts. Gosh, I really thought that it was going to take me longer to tell you all that stuff, and I'd be farther along with planning, but that isn't how that worked. What else did we do? Oh, okay. I'm going to tell you guys some. If he finds out, he's going to be so upset with me. But I tell people that when you become a parent, they give you a handbook. And it tells you stuff like how many times you're supposed to embarrass your child and at what level before they're 18. So, he's 19 now, but I can still do some embarrassing things, I suppose. Okay, actually, I'm going to take a moment. I'm going to tell you about what I've just done. This is, and I'm sorry, my lighting is so horrible in here today for this. This is a classic box, and it's light blue with some snowflakes. And let's get up there so you can see it. I have a metallic blue. It was a to-do flag. I cut the bottom star off, you saw. I hope it was on screen. And then I've got two of the same light blue foil asterisks up there as a bow. This came compliments of Plan for Tomorrow. And I am going to spell it wrong if I try to do it by memory. So I will link to her stuff in the comments as well. And I put I put 6 of the menorah stickers that I printed for myself down at the bottom of each page. So I was going to tell you guys something that we did. Gosh, it got to be late one year, and I had neglected to make cookies for us to leave out for Santa. And my child was not happy with me in the least. He was, just unhappy in general. And he he was like, well, we've got to leave something for Santa. We can't, he's got to have cookies. He might be angry. He might not leave us anything. So I didn't want to go out to the store. We were still in Wisconsin. It was super cold. It was uh, snowing. The roads were lousy, as I recall. And I was like, nope, nope. Like having a cold, it's not happening. I am currently in the 1050 basic. And so I said, well, Brad, what can we do? What can we leave out? And I was type 2 diabetic at the time. And he's like, we could, and so he thought in those terms. He said, we could always leave Santa uh, something a little healthy. We could leave him, that's so much sugar, Mom, we could leave him some peanut butter toast. That would give him protein. And I was like, oh, geez, that's a good idea. I'm so glad you thought of it. Wish I had. Really did too. And so we left Santa some peanut butter toast that year, and that became our thing then. And to go with it, he decided that Santa could really use some Diet Coke. Give him a little bit of a lift with just a little caffeine boost, because we're most of the way around the world. By the time Santa gets here, man, he must be just getting kind of tired. So that was what we did, and that became our thing every year. In fact, my child was 17 or 18, and he was getting ready to go to bed when all of a sudden he went, oh, I almost forgot. And he went out to the kitchen and he put some toast in the toaster oven. And I'm like, what are you doing? He said, well, I want to leave this for Santa. And I looked at him and was like, sweetheart, I hate to kill it for you if you hadn't figured it out yet, but gosh golly jeepers, kid. And he said, I know. But he said, Mom, it's tradition, and I want to do it. Oh, okay, yeah, rock on, have a good time. So that's what he did. And where am I going? What do I want to do with this? I want to go here. So he did, and yeah, I'm delighted. I'm thrilled that my son is still. He lets himself be a kid enough to do that kind of thing. Very much like that. When he was a youngin', and some other kids at school were starting to figure it out ahead of him, and I think some older kids at daycare were pointing out to him that there is no such thing as Santa and that kind of thing. And he was like, yeah, there is. And they challenged him with questions. And the Santa Claus had come out already. So he knew that you didn't have to have a chimney because, Santa would just, the chimney just happened for him. And something about how come nobody ever sees something that, a sleigh that big? How does Santa, well, the magic pack, it just like in the movie, stuff comes out, it's the right size. And there was one that he was like, his answer to the question was, well, it says it right in the story. It's a miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer. He did that with his hand when he told me about it, with his thumb and finger really close together. Gosh, yeah. He's adorable. He really is. He's adorable. This is a day that I'm going to be doing a lot. So I still am leaving myself just a small to-do list. I get up, my alarm goes off at 4 in the morning, Monday through Friday, and sorry, I stopped and thought, and that's never a good idea, ever. And so I get home early in the afternoon. And because of that, um, I don't have a lot of energy to get things done. I have to go to bed fairly early, and I just don't have the gumption to do a whole lot in the afternoon and evening. So I only ever list out 3 things for myself to do. Can I just take a moment and say I'm really impressed that this has not turned into the sticker vomit that I thought it was going to. I'm very pleased with that. All right, we got a little gold, so we'll do a little gold over here. And I'm really, at the moment, not a super huge fan of going monochromatic. I'm amazed by that because blue is one of my favorite colors. But we'll keep going. We may reduce them. There might be some, I don't know. It might end up being one of my favorites. Sometimes I start out not liking something, and by the time I'm done, I'm like, oh, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And not bad. I'm getting faster at this too. All right, so there's a page. Let's scoot that up there, and let's focus on this page, shall we? So yeah, that's those are things that we've done to keep the magic alive for our child, and some neat stories about him and the holidays. I would love to hear about your traditions and things you've done in the comments. Gosh, what else? What else have we've done some things. You know, food. God, why don't I think about food traditions? Because you know what, there's that's what the holidays tend to end up being about more than what they should. Um, my ex-husband's family always traditionally has had um, a fresh kielbasa that they make for New Year's Eve or for Christmas Eve for dinner. And I'm just not a huge fan of that kielbasa. However, and you can't find it south of Chicago. I just tore the sticker a little bit. Gosh, that is like so hugely appropriate. We have that shade showing up a lot on this page. And it is that shade. All right, we can put it up here. It'll offer a little balance to the page and to the whole kit and caboodle. And goodness knows, bless this hot mess, that's accurate for me. So when we moved to Tennessee, we couldn't get it anymore. I tried to. I tried to get it for him, and it was going to cost me $90 to have it overnighted from Wisconsin. And I was like, no, I don't like anybody $90 worth. So it was a pass on that. And I had never seen the movie up to that point. Obviously, I've seen it since then. I had never seen the movie Christmas Story. Well, I've seen it now, so it's okay. So don't send me hate mail. And we just giggled. Actually, no, I laughed until a tear ran down my leg when they went to the Chinese restaurant, and they had the duck with the head on it, and then the guy just chopped it right off in front of him. Holy cow. Loved that. So we started going out for Chinese food on Christmas Eve. Once we came down here and I saw that movie. Actually, I think I saw it the first year we were here. I'll set that to the right. Kind of dig that. So yeah, it was so we've done that. We go out for Chinese on New Year or on Christmas Eve. Christmas morning, I have when I was married, I would make um and even after we were not together, we lived in the same house for a long time before we got the paperwork all finalized and even after that a little bit um, because he's a great guy, just not the right great guy. So I would make cinnamon rolls, not from scratch. Lord, no. Lovin' comes from nothing says lovin' like fresh from the oven. Um, and so we did that and fresh fruit. And you, just like when I was a kid, you had to eat before you could open up gifts. So that was first thing in the morning. What other traditions do we have that center on food? Lord knows we probably have a whole bunch. I just can't think of them. Yeah, I guess. What we eat is pretty standard stuff: ham, green beans, and that sort of thing. Oh, there is an I Heart Naps. I need an I Heart Naps sticker. Yes, I do. Um, so yeah, that's yeah. I guess we don't have a lot of traditions with food in our house. Um, yeah. So let me know. Oh, Kringle. You know, Kringle is something that I've introduced some folks to since moving down here. I'm all out of I Heart Nap stickers. How did that happen? Because I really do heart the naps. That's why. Um. So yeah, I'm all out of those. Um. Let's see. Christmas. Yeah, just ham. Chicken. Maybe something a little bit different to do. Do a little shopping that day. Don't really have a lot to do, like I said, because it's I don't know. I'm just taking. Oh, I think we're going to use these icons for that day, for Saturday. Um, don't have a lot going on. And it feels so decadent to not have a lot of running to do this week. So what are the foods? I would love to know that it's just not Christmas without. Kringle is a Nordic um, pastry. It's a big oval and it's really thin, but there are 40 layers of super, super thin dough in it. And it generally comes with like a brown sugar and walnut, akin to a Danish, but not exactly the same. But it's good stuff. I mean, it is just amazing, amazing. Oh, I'm looking for something that says, okay. If you pay attention to, excuse me, to the way I plan things, I have a little header that tells me that I'm doing stuff, but I try hard not to have them all say to do or busy day or get it done, because I just like to change it up quite a bit on my planner, and so that way it's not boring. I'm not looking at the same thing all the time, which is why this planner is fabulous for me, because goodness knows you're not looking at the same thing all the time when you're making it up as you go along. Oh, here we go. I haven't even used this one yet. And I don't have a banner or header for Saturday. Yeah, Thursday's going to be the busy day, I think, for the week. Because everybody wants to leave work a little bit early on Friday. Yes, we do. I'm still also quite mystified by the fact that's just too green. That I don't have just a huge ton of stuff going on this week. That's just it's wrong on so many levels. Yeah, put it down below that. There we go. Thank goodness for tweezers. Okay, so yeah, and are you sick of holiday music yet? Don't ask me if I am. I'm never, ever, ever going to be sick of holiday music. I could listen to it all year long, actually. I know, it's disgusting. My boyfriend does not like to hear that out of me in any way, shape, or form. All right, so we've got it's growing on me. It is. I gotta say, this bright, I guess I'm gonna call this Mediterranean blue, is my favorite out of them so far. I've got like some uh, faded denim, I guess is what you would call that color. And there's some of that in here, and there's the light blue. I've got something a little more teal going on with this. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Cerulean blue. Yes, that's right about cerulean blue. Oh, I was going to put I Heart Naps underneath that, but you know what? I think we're going to imply it. I think there's going to be some Pokemon hunting uh, next weekend for sure. My boyfriend and I, we play the game on our phones, and during the summer it gets us out and walking, and it's just an excuse to get out and walk. I mean, seriously. But we are competitive people, so it does get a little serious from time to time. Weekend plans. And we'll put some eyelashes to show that I have every intention of getting some good naps in. Yes, yes, I do. Thought I was done, but well, maybe I am. I don't know. I'm not the fan of this that I thought I was going to be. I still feel like I need a little something up here. But I think we're going to call it pretty good. So, with my really, really bright, because the sun has moved a little further on in the sky, there's my sun dots, and there's my 2 pages for the week. With blue and white, not a whole lot of holiday and festive, but sometimes the brain needs a little bit of a break to keep it super special. We are definitely going back to red, white, and green for the week of the 18th through the 24th. So yeah, you've got that to look forward to. Another week for sure of lots of red, white, and green. Well, I want to thank you so much for watching this. Make sure you hit the like button if you like this video. If you'd like to see more of my videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And we'll see you again next week. Thanks so much, guys.